Hello everyone, this is Elaine from the Wool Studio. It's been a long time, and this is not going to be a regular podcast, but since I've had so many comments asking about my Halibut sweater from Boylan Knitworks, the new design from Caitlin, I decided to do a quick podcast about the sweater and what I did. So here it is, the Halibut. Sorry if the color and quality of everything is not so great. It's not the best day today, and there's lots of construction outside, and I look terrible. But I decided to do this anyway. So it's all over color work, and I decided to use some more budget-friendly yarns these days. So I got some Knit Picks Wool of the Andes, which I've never had before, never tried before. I bought some over the summer when I was visiting my family finally. And I also bought some Valley yarns from Webs and stuff like that. So I decided that it was time to try some of it. So Knitpick Wool of the Andes, I know lots of people have always raved about it, and they were having a sale. So I got some. And this is the color Clarity. And the contrast color is All You Knit Is Love from Barcelona, Knitwise. So it's an alpaca. Alpaca. So I bought that when we were there several years ago. I've been to Barcelona many times. I just love it there. But I went there several years ago with my family and I bought some. And this color, I believe, is 20. And they're sold out of it right now because I ran out, or I knew I was running out. So I hit my stitch gauge of 20 stitches for 10 centimeters. I used this yarn for I think I did the Ultra from Skandir with it, so I knew what my gauge would be. So I knew it was the correct gauge, and I picked this beautiful yellow to go with it. I thought it really will go well together, and it's sort of a golden mustard color. And what happened is it's alpaca. So alpaca kind of pulls down. There's not really much memory, and so the row gauge started going really, really far down. So the pattern calls. They're drilling. They're drilling 345 meters down next door, so it's going to be a little noisy. So the row gauge is supposed to be 28 rows per 10 centimeters. Mine is 22. So I knew I was starting to run out, and so I had to modify a lot of it. I skipped a bunch of rows right before the bottom diamond started because I knew I couldn't skip any rows there. So the middle of the fish is a little bit different. And then I also had to take some stitches. I skipped some stitches from the diamond down because if I can use as little of the yellow as possible, that's what I did. I even ended up doing some slip stitches to make it work, which I think when you look at the sweater, you wouldn't be able to tell where I slipped the stitches. I slipped stitches where it would not be a problem. I didn't do it in the diamonds or anything. And then I also had to use the ties that were around the yarn. So I literally used every single bit of this yarn possible to make it work. And luckily, I did. And so it ended up getting really, really deep. And so I decided that I was going to end the sweater after the color work, and I did 2x2 ribbing because 1x1 ribbing takes me a lifetime plus. So I did 2x2 ribbing, and I did sort of a deep ribbing for me. And then I decided that I needed to be able to move my arms because if your sleeve divide is so low, if it's like basically almost below your waist, you're not going to be able to use your arms without lifting the entire sweater up. So what I then did was I did short rows. So you could kind of you can see the short rows also, because and also with the color work line. So I started with 2 stitches and went back and forth German short rows till I could not go anymore, and that is what I did to get my halibut. Now lots of people would love to recreate what I did. I'm not sure if you can. The row gauge, for me at least, is very difficult to control, and yeah, I think if I used something other than an alpaca, my row gauge would have been okay. And I have a tendency to be looser on my color work. A lot of people will actually tell you to use a larger needle to make sure your color work is not tight. I have a tendency to be so afraid of having tight color work that I actually go really loose. So anyway, the row gauge dictated this for me. I love it. It's it worked out well. I took at one point I thought I have to frog this because this is just not working, but I decided to go through it and see what would happen, and I think at the end it turned out really good, right? Well, I hope that was helpful, and if you have any more questions for me, I will try to answer them. I put more notes in my Ravelry, on my Ravelry page now, and that's all I can do, I think. Good luck if you're trying to recreate what I did. Have a great day. Bye.